Chapter 25. Speculative Theory. From Eden to Empire. The rise of Cain's hidden inheritance. Throughout many ancient myths and scriptures, the story of two brothers, one favored, one exiled, echoes across cultures. In the biblical tale, this polarity is personified through Cain and Abel, the tiller of soil who slays his shepherd brother. But what if this story, often taken as moral allegory or metaphor for sin, is a disguised fragment of an ancient geopolitical reality, perhaps even a cosmic memory? Let us entertain a speculative theory that the story of Cain and Abel is a post-cataclysmic memory of a much older split in human civilization, one seated in the aftermath of a fallen golden age, an age when divine beings, advanced ancestors, or even extraterrestrials, depending on one's cosmology, walked among humanity. This epic is remembered in fragments, as the Garden of Eden, the Sumerian Dilmun, the Norse Asgard, and the Buddhist Shambhala. All speak of a sacred place that was lost due to corruption, exile, or war. Cain, in this speculative lens, is not merely a man but a bloodline, an exiled priesthood or caste that aligned with power, control, and technological manipulation after being denied the spiritual inheritance of the sacred order. He and his descendants may have been among the first to settle into city building and seafaring, as the Genesis narrative hints at his descendants forging tools, music, and cities. But what if their exile wasn't only spiritual? What if it reflected their rejection from an earlier, more balanced cosmic order? Mesopotamian myths, predating the Abrahamic texts, speak of divine councils choosing sides between humans. The tale of Enki and Enlil is one such example, where one god supports humanity and the other seeks to destroy or manipulate it. If we apply this lens to Cain's story, perhaps the biblical God who marks Cain is not punishing him, but protecting or preserving him for another agenda. Now envision this Cainite bloodline surviving through the antediluvian world, scattered after the flood, perhaps migrating northward into early Europe. As the old orders collapsed and languages diversified, their mythic memory persisted through war gods and blood rites, re-emerging in the warrior clans of the north. Scandinavia, modern-day Sweden, Norway, and Denmark, later gave rise to the Vikings, a fierce seafaring people whose arrival marked terror across the Christianized world. Although the Viking Age began around 793 CE, Norse mythology and cultural roots predate Christianity's full dominance in Europe. Many Vikings only converted for economic and political gain, allowing trade with Christian kingdoms and avoiding persecution. Could this pragmatic conversion be a veiled continuation of the Cainite agenda, appearing to submit while infiltrating through alliance and intermarriage? Modern monarchies, including the British Crown, have genealogical links to Scandinavian rulers. The merging of ancient Norse bloodlines with royal and ecclesiastical power may have carried the lineage forward, not as tribal raiders, but as technocratic elites. This theory does not claim the literal descent of all Swedes or Norse peoples from Cain. Rather, it suggests that within the elite lineages of these regions may lie remnants of an ancient power structure, one that aligned itself long ago with a different set of gods or cosmic forces. Their neutrality in modern politics may mask ancient knowledge and strategic detachment. These are nations that do not wage obvious war, yet are deeply embedded in finance, surveillance, and international governance. Meanwhile, the original story, the Abel line, so to speak, may be buried in indigenous wisdom traditions, in forgotten tribes, or in the spiritual undercurrents of humanity's longing for reconnection with earth and sky. If Cain's legacy was to build a world of tools and walls, Abel's may live on in forests, visions, and songs. So, what remains of the original fracture? Perhaps it lives within us still. As above, so below.